One way to lose the game is to get plastered on pavement. And on pavement, it could be something as different than metal. The difference between metal and pavement, despite them both being hard surfaces, maybe is a question of how thick it is. If you have a cloud of iron or the hardest steel, there's a particle that can go through it without it even hitting it. And it was as thick as like 500 football fields. A neutrino can go through it without it even interacting with it, without it even hitting it. That much metal is no different than thin air. So is the concrete and metal description inadequate unless it is a certain volume. When someone is getting a gold medal, they bite it to see if it's real gold. This was done in the Olympics and probably never will be done in the Olympics again because of health concerns of spreading viral loads. Hell, there might not even be an Olympics if this one goes wrong. There's a viral outbreak when everyone's coming together in the start of the parade. There might not ever be another one again. The differences of opinion, and if you're trying to figure out like a really complex thing, perhaps that complex thing is actually you, and shouldn't be the test. Everyone is ADD to a certain extent. Everyone is CDC, compulsive disorder to a certain extent. The game of life is like a puzzle, not like a bowl of cherries. Multiple colors in the iridescent. And at some point it would have to choose the color from the iridescent. So that's the ratio. And how do you feel? The question, how are you doing, is asked hundreds of thousands of times every day. But what if we're a little bit more particular in asking that question? If we could measure that to the distillates, if we could measure that to the quality of whatever you will ingest for that day, whether it be air or the bacterium you come across. If you are a distinctive private resident at any length, you could be told how different you could be when you're not in there versus when you are outside. There are two different guidelines. If you have to follow a guideline of something that is inadequate, you will fall victim rather quickly. Having like a monkey on your back, or a mask on your face, or a cloth that you have to carry to show your subservience, is equivalent to knowing how much bacterial will be going into my body if it were not a monkey on my back. A mask on my face. Weighing this option of subservience is now not an illusion, but a day-to-day practice where I have to take that into consideration before the issue even happens. Now, the issue is me being a private citizen while there is crime at hand. Now, the crime at hand has not been even labeled because the viral outbreak was not investigated as though it were as dangerous as it is to make me subservient every single day. So I have an issue where I'm trying to solve it. Despite it harming me, I have to still remain with a monkey on my back. And then if it does come across as a gorilla in a room, a bull in a tea shop, I will then have to again take that on, and with zero liability with whatever happens to me next, because a virus is not a crime. Where equivalently, the body harm of a crime that a virus would have is circumstantial to a nuke going off. If you're speaking on bases of mortality rates, the significance of numbers is equivalent